In 1964, certain social structures in areas of London were observed to be changing in relation to the prices of housing. As prices went up, the class demographic changed from a once poor working-class neighborhood into a more upper-middle-class neighborhood. In turn, the now more expensive areas included increasingly nicer local shops and restaurants. British sociologist Ruth Glass noticed these changes and thus coined the term gentrification. Ever since then, gentrification has been noted in many Western cities around the globe, including America. Though the effects of this can be positive, the poor suffer.
You're typically going to see gentrification happen in areas and districts with certain qualities and attributes that make them desirable by big businesses and corporations and fixer-uppers for changes to be made. Those areas are typically minority neighborhoods. Typically see things like spikes in the price of rent and property values, increases in the number of evictions, luxury housing development. Gentrification can also change the culture and the character of the neighborhood through the removal of the community-beloved businesses, historical sites, changing streets, schools, and infrastructure under the term renovation. And where are displaced minorities supposed to go when they get driven out? They have no choice but to seek other areas that have affordable housing. Some end up homeless.
To assess the amplitude to which gentrification has remodeled urban communities, Governing analyzed census tract data for the nation's 50 largest cities. The city of Atlanta places 5th out of the 50 cities reviewed, with having 46.2% of eligible tracts being gentrified. This is the Atlanta gentrification map from the 1990 census to the 2000 census. And now comparing it to the Atlanta gentrification map from the 2000 census to the present, you can tell a big difference between the two.
Communities can have anti-gentrification areas. Community members can be brought into the planning process so everyone can have a say. Other ways to bash out gentrification is by preserving existing and affordable housing, collaborating with many stakeholders to present a team that speaks up for the community's needs and priorities, plus making community benefit agreements to make sure existing residents are also protected. Rent can be controlled, which prevents prices from going up and forcing people to move. Making actions like these can really save your community and bring residents closer than ever.
Gentrification has driven communities and minorities and the lower classes out of certain areas with rising prices. Although there are a few positive effects, they are outweighed by negative effects. More measures should be taken in the future to make housing all exclusive.